All right. Okay, now we're recording. Yay. Hi, it's me, and it's another session of the School of 5D. Today it's going to be a how-to video, and it's going to be how to start a new civilization, because the civilization that we have is completely uncivilized. This video is also some encouragement for awake people. I know it seems like you're surrounded by people who are still watching TV and who don't understand the infiltration by negative forces, and it doesn't matter what you call them at this point, because if we start getting all bogged down with somebody told me the Pleiadians were awesome and then somebody told me they're not good today, we're going to confuse ourselves, and we're going to allow other people to confuse us. Keep in mind that the deep state creates websites where they put good information, but then they put bad information so that all of the information can be viewed as inaccurate. So really, in a previous video, I said it's time for you to just use your discernment, decide what it is you know, and act on it. And that's what this video is all about. So, and it was inspired by a video that I watched, and it was called The 10 Signs of an Enlightened Person. But really, I think the video should have been called How to Start a New Civilization. It was a real mind blower of a video for me, because I take for granted many things about myself, and I think you, as awake people, I think that's who's watching this video, probably take it for granted about yourself, perhaps not. But the basis of this enlightened person or this new civilization were simple things like integrity and sincerity, like sharing, like unity, like understanding oneness, like not engaging in labeling that creates separation. Like that wasn't a specific thing, but they talked about separation, and I think labeling encourages that. Like not being competitive, like non-hierarchy. All of these things are things that I've been noticing about my society all of my life, and I have been noting that while I live in Canada, which is known as a first world country and is known as a developed civilization, that it didn't seem very civilized to me. And of course, the awake people are finding out that we have so much negativity and corruption, and so many modalities of this that have been woven into our everyday lives, that I do believe that we need to chuck it. Now, I'm going to say a bunch of weird stuff now that is not probably going to be helpful, but I'm going to say it anyways. Okay, so if you look into Atlantis or something, or you look at, I asked you to look up ancient cave carvings mystery, and you're going to see evidence of these great civilizations. I think at one time we did have great civilizations that were based on peace and cooperation, and so I do believe that the world has been taken over by a force that wants the exact opposite. I do think that our origin is from a prime creator, a force, an eternal consciousness that is positive. And I asked you in my last video to look at nature to get the answer for that. And so now that we have used the internet to get us all kinds of information, which actually ends up turning into realizations, which ends up expanding our consciousness, and we become conscious beings. And I think that it would be good to really go as far as you can with that, because the one place that you really need to go, that you may not have gone with it yet, is to overcome death, and is to understand in simplistic terms that death has been used as a weapon against you to cause you fear and to blackmail you. So if you could only think of death like you think of sleep, it is another state of consciousness, and if you could just look at it as though you will live and die and live and die, and you will be in the life realm and you will be in the death realm, which the death realm just has 1,000 negative associations with it, all of which you picked up from this uncivilization. And uncivilization is the term that Elder Brother Camus, who is also known as Sasquatch, uses in the channeled book Sasquatch Message to Humanity, which I've asked you to read about 50,000 times. I hope you've done that by now. So we are on the brink of, yes, the golden age, the age of Aquarius, etc., etc. What are we going to do? Get all excited and then that's it? Wait for the Pleiadian light ships to come down and put us in their healing tubes and or something? No. It would be best, I think, if we saw ourselves as leaders, and if we took our intelligence and brought it together with others to create some unity consciousness, which I keep saying creates. And I would like to invite you to come to Peace Camp on Mount Elphinstone on the Sunshine Coast in what is known as BC, Canada, so that we can actualize and put into practice unity consciousness and the fact that unity consciousness creates. I also want to encourage you to realize that change is as simple as choosing. Don't worry about things in your life that aren't changing, or things you want to change, or things you want to manifest. All of these things are the result of choices, and you're just going to have responsibility for your if you want things. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to tell you that also, though, that I'm really concerned about the amount of information that we are sifting through and trying to decide whether it's correct or not. The point is that if any of this stuff actually shakes down and results in a huge external change, will you have made the internal changes so that you can cope with it? That's what's really important right now. So I will invite you to click on the School of 5D website below, which has the full curriculum, everything that we're going to teach and learn. I want to remind you that we do have access to some simple plans for simple structures from around the world, and that we want to empower you. I want to empower you to live on this one earth, which communally belongs to all of us, which we all have responsibility for, to come together and to be stewards, again, to actualize our authority. We have given our authority to many, many, many different groups and organizations, corporations, and governments. It's really time to cut that. And so I don't know what's going on with the technology here. So I'm going to wrap this up and say thank you very much for watching. Namaste. Namago.